Hello, I'm Nikita and welcome to the channel Mindset Magic. And if you're someone who is serious about closing loops in your life and transforming old and outdated patterns and being part of an open and like-minded community, then don't just watch, join our shift. Because this is a space where we are rebuilding the Mindset Magic community from the inside out. Starting today, we are committing to one small ritual a day, whether that is starting a workout, reading for knowledge, journaling, a mindful walk, yoga, meditation, whatever it is. We're adding one thing to our routine that we're going to make a daily ritual. Think of it as something our future selves will thank us for. Whatever it is that you choose, comment below the one thing that you are choosing and let's hold each other accountable. That is the most effective way to get real results. So comment below on what your first practice will be and let's start holding each other accountable. Are you in a state of confusion? If so, here is the clarity that you're looking for. Maybe there's more to the story. What if I misunderstood? Should I wait for them to explain themselves? Why are they acting hot and cold? Sound familiar? You're not weak for needing clarity. You're human. And the human brain is wired to close loops, to problem solve. That's what your mind is doing, is searching for something to make sense. And it's also in the battle with the ego, which is trying to protect you from making sense of whatever something is, so that you don't feel silly or played. And you know what? The answer is usually right in front of you. You just haven't let yourself believe it because it feels too simple, too disappointing, or too final. So let's walk you through the answers that you're probably searching for right now. I'm getting mixed signals. What does that mean? Let me make this answer quite simple. When someone is unsure about you, that's the answer. They are either confused and not ready, and in that case, you should choose yourself, or they like having you around but don't want anything real. Again, choose yourself. Indecision is a decision, and clarity won't come from waiting for them. It comes from choosing yourself. Choosing yourself means to honor yourself, means to love yourself, means to treat yourself as though you would treat a loved one. Because we are all very capable of being protective when it comes to our loved ones, and sometimes less capable of doing that for ourselves. So choosing yourself is just another way of saying honor yourself, honor your values, honor your feelings, honor your morals. Okay, next. Number 2, they're not speaking to me at all. Silence is communication. We just don't always like what it's saying to us. And what it's saying is quite simple. If they haven't reached out, they're either not ready or they're not interested enough. You are not a priority to them. And that's okay. In both cases, the message is clear. You don't need to chase a response to know your worth. Silence is a response. Let it speak. They're suddenly chasing me. What does that mean? When someone's making an effort, constantly messaging you, pursuing you, yeah, they want you. Never let the validation blur your discernment, because you are the discernment queen. If you smell a rat, you know what time it is. What do you do? In this scenario, what do you do? How do you use your discernment? You ask yourself, do you want them back for real? If so, why? Why do you want them back? Or do you just miss being chosen? Not every I want you deserves a yes. My son is 17 years old And he says something to me all the time. And boy, did it irritate me. I would sound off to him and I would tell him about what's happened and why I felt this way. And I didn't like the fact that this person thought that. And he would often ask me why I cared. But why do you care? It was the most frustrating response that anyone could have given me. I wanted to sound off. And his response was always, but why do you care? So sometimes he would listen, logical kind of point and advice. But often it was the why do you care? And I never listened to that. I just saw it as frustrating. You don't listen to me. I'm telling you something. I just want to tell you how I feel. You don't need to ask me why I care. And one day, it really did click. And this is why sometimes, unless someone is ready to receive something, they will not get it. And I wasn't ready to receive it until then. When he said, why did I care? On this occasion, I had to turn that finger that was pointing back towards myself. And I had to find out why I cared. Why do I care what that person thinks of me? How is that going to affect me? In other words, I'm saying that their opinion of me is more important than my opinion of me, or what I already know about myself. That person doesn't know my intention. That person doesn't know me the way I know me. So why do I care about their opinion or what they think of me? And it was a game changer. And often, both my children, my son who is 17, my daughter who is 11, are constantly simplifying things for me. And let me tell you something, if you have children, shout out to them, because there is some real wisdom you can get from your children if you pay attention. I promise you, I am learning every day. I'm still learning. Shout out to your children and shout out to Cameron and Sienna, because they often give me these pearls of wisdom with this simplistic or wise advice. And when you really actually deep it, it's very helpful. Why did I care? Now I ask myself that all the time. I can hear his voice asking me, why do you care? And sometimes there might be a valid reason as to why you care. But most of the time you're going to find the problem is within you. Whatever you're feeling is something that you are either insecure about, or for example, let's say you were triggered. It's not about the other person. It's about you. Why were you triggered? Did you see something in them that reminds you of yourself that you don't like? What happened to cause you to be triggered? Because they are just a mirror for that. All of this feels hard to accept sometimes because your mind wants complexity, your nervous system wants closure, but your heart needs peace. Truth is, sometimes we make things more confusing than they need to be, or more complex than they need to be, because clarifying something almost feels like an anticlimax. We crave plot twists, we crave grand gestures, the missing detail that will finally explain everything. I'm starting to feel like a lot of this expectation comes from media and TV, but that's a whole nother story. Anyway, real peace actually comes from the boring and slightly harsh truths. They didn't choose you. They didn't choose you. That's right. Guess what? You still matter. Wasn't aligned, and you still deserve love. So if you are confused, let this be your message. You don't need any more signs. You need to believe in the ones that you've already got. You don't have to chase down closure. You don't have to read between the lines. You just need to trust what's already been shown. Because when something is meant for you, you won't need to decode it. I promise you. And remember, mindset matters, so let's create magic. I'll see you in the next one.